Good morning, guys. Today we are looking at ChinaNet Online Holdings, or CNET. Right now it's at about looks like 5 times the average volume, up at about 170%, and seems like a good play so far. This is where all the day trading volume seems to be headed. Following the 50 EMA, it is at 190 and under. The previous resistance was 320, but as you can see, it's testing new highs right now. And we're just going to go ahead and follow along. And hopefully that volume will continue to rise. Looking down the scanner list, there's not much out there. Well, this thing's really popping off now, but we're also going to look at a PHB, it looks like, Amplify. Only up about 30%, but seems to be around 5 times the average volume as well. And this one doesn't look as good because the candles are the gaps are just a little too frequent on these candles. Switching over to the 1 day, we can see that it did have a decent day yesterday, and this could just be a continuation play. But unless CNET decides to drop off in volume, this one might just be a continuation from yesterday's play. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and focus on CNET, and I do apologize for not uploading recently. Just taking a little bit of a Christmas break along with the New Year's holiday, but I am back, and I'm also going to be going on a trip soon, so that actually took up a lot of my time preparing for that. Yeah, let's see if we can't get CNET to work with us today as we follow along the volume here. All right, well, this seems to have found its footing at about 370. Might take a nice dip here for us. 50 EMA is looking at about 235. We'll go ahead and set alerts for 230 and under. 100 looks to be under $2, so we'll see how big of a dip she can take here. Most likely it'll bounce off this area a little bit. But this thing is very volatile, so we're just gonna continue to follow the plan here. But yeah, it looks like the new resistance is at 370, and I will update you guys in a few. Just a little bit of an update here, guys, as volatility slows down. 50 EMA is steadily climbing. It's at 268 right now. We're going to go ahead and just round that down to 265 and under for our alerts. Seems to be the new resistance is about 350 right there, which is a good drop from the previous 370 resistance. But right now we are still just following along. Let's see if it can drop below this previous support at 280. That would be the best move for us. Might just bounce along here though. Who knows? We're just going to stick 2-hour strategy here. Going to raise that to 270. But so far so good. As far as volume wise, it's still very high on top of the chart, and looking at about almost 12 to 13 times the average volume. Just about half an hour into the day here. But I will update you once you guys got some more price movement. All right, just another minor update here. It did break below $3. As you can see, it went to 297, 295. So it did break below the $3 anchor number, which is a good sign for it to drop even more. Looks like 280 and under seems to be a decent buy-in target for us. So we're going to go ahead and stay patient, and even though it's sort of consolidating around the $3 mark, and this thing is very volatile, so we're just going to continue to trust our strategy, and wherever she goes, up or down, we will be ready for it. So yeah, it's still watching, still waiting, and being patient, and hopefully this will pan out for us here. All right, guys, we were staying patient, and we actually were able to buy in at 288 under the 50 EMA dip. Right now it's about 295. So we'll see if we can't climb back up into the threes before we start having sell targets here. But yeah, we were really trying to stay patient there, and you know what? It might dip a little more here, but we do have our stop loss in play, and if it does, we can work on our average. But 288 seems to be okay so far. All right, guys. So our 288 average ended up being quite the average here, as we popped over $3 and we were actually able to sell off at 305. We're gonna let the 20% of our shares ride at a 290 stop loss. But yeah, way to play this one. We stayed patient, waited for our pop above $3. And as you can see, the 310 mark was sort of where the resistance was. So that's why we decided to sell off majority of our shares there. And if she does decide to run, she will go ahead and do that. But if it takes our stop loss out, then, you know, had a good play either way. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. Not too much of a spike there, but hopefully we don't touch down here again and it continues to climb. If that's the case, then it'll be a great trade for us. All right, guys, there we go. Didn't get down to our stop loss at 290, and it is now going parabolic, as I would like to say it. We're going to go ahead and let this one ride. Thanks for joining me today. And as far as selling off wise, I'm just going to scale out of position. Probably raise our stop loss at about 310 here, which is a pretty safe bet. But yeah, that is why it is very important to stay patient, wait for the 50 drop, and let it do its thing. All right, guys, see you next time.